What's up, everybody? It's your girl Shay on this Wednesday, and my special guest in the building today is my girl Different with us. What's going
Woo!
on?
Hey, Queen, how are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's
Glad
a
to be here.
pleasure.
Appreciative to be here.
Yes, I know we have been trying to get this date set and locked in so that we can get the show going. But let me just tell you a little
Yes.
bit about me different. Oh my God. This past week has been so busy for me. Yesterday was my birthday. And
Uh-oh, happy belated.
oh, thank you. You know, Virgos are we are something special. So, but I'm gonna
Y'all think
celebrate.
y'all all that, but okay. Let you have your moment. It's your time. Let me have your time. Do your thing.
But I'm gonna celebrate this weekend because I've been working. You know, I work too as well. So I'm working 10-hour shifts. So then I try to rush home and I try to make sure the content is still here for the show. I've been doing so much new things with the show. So it's definitely gonna be worth the while for the last week that I did miss. But birthday celebration is gonna be this weekend. But let's get into you, my girl. We have so
Yes.
much to offer when we're talking about different. Different, let the people know what's
hmm
going on with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, like Shay told everybody, my name is different. Spelled Difernt. And I'm 30 years old in Houston, Texas. Let's see. My hobbies, I love traveling, meditating, writing, journaling, exercising,
Okay.
anything pretty much there, but I'm like, I'm in for it. So that's me in a nutshell. I guess as far as my background, I'll let you ask the questions and what you want to know about me. So,
No, no, no. You fine. So I do hear that your hobbies and everything is like meditating. So when it does come down
oh
to it,
yeah.
I do see that you have a what if book. So in this what if book, like how do you go from meditating to actually putting out a book? You're publishing a book.
Well,
What does that fit in
not
at?
just with meditating, but as far as being spiritually in tune, and what that is for me is meditating, praying, and being alone with God. I'm not
Okay.
necessarily such as a religious person, and again, I'm no attacker or anybody that is, no disrespect. But for me, I had to lose religion in order to gain a relationship with God, and so ever since then, well, for me, what I do is I pray, meditate, read the Bible. I even do, chakra healing and things of that nature, making sure my energies are clean and keeping my aura positive. And so, as far as like when praying and manifesting things that I want into life, this book is
Absolutely.
sort of play and speak with it.
So
And
we're
I
gonna
can
get it
explain it
a
later on.
little we're gonna get it a little bit into this book. And so as
Mm.
I share this book with our viewers and listeners, just give me the background about the title of the book and what is the vision for the book.
Okay, yeah. So the book, my new book, my first book, "What If: A Controversial Paradigm Shift." Before I go any further, I'm going to state that this book does include a disclaimer. It's intended for mature audience only. And so if you can't take this type of heat, don't come to this kitchen.
Okay.
The book was written to inform and encourage thought provoking and constant conversations about systemic racism and injustice in America. This is done through provocative but graphic and provocative illustrations, and it details on controversial deaths and events that have occurred in America within the African American community over time, and basically what's still going on in time. The way that I have constructed the book is in four main categorized paradigms, which are historical, political, precedent, and hypothetical. And within those four main paradigms, there are sub paradigms that are basically just asking the question, what if the shoe was on the other foot? What if
Yeah.
this happened to white people instead of black people? And so the way that, like I said, I have it set up with even with the questions, if they don't get you, the illustrations are definitely meant to do so. So, for instance, one of the paradigms that I have in historical, I believe I have the question I asked was the year 1619, I believe, and it asks the question, what if in 1619 Africans started doing slave trading, whereas they kidnapped millions of English men, women, and children from their homeland and brought them on slave ships to America? And so And then you'll see this illustrations of white slaves in shackles and on the slave ship, and you have the the black slave masters whipping the with the whip how they used to do us. And so, although the book it is set up with graphic illustrations that will definitely roughen some feathers and ring some bells, the overall gist of the book is you can sum it through the entire book and make it to the last paradigm, which is hypothetical. That is where I tie it all into my message of thinking about just compassion and bringing unity and having love for men and everybody in general. Excuse me, get a little jumbled up in my words here, but that's okay. Um, Once you read the
Yes,
book, you'll
it
understand where I'm coming
definitely.
from.
Yes, it's okay because, like you said, the what if, like,
Hmm.
what would time or today or history be like if it was on if the shoe was on the other foot? That what if
Hmm.
question has always I think it's going to always be an unanswered question because it's a what if question. It's not like it really
Hmm.
has been in effect. And once again, I can't say what discrimination any other nationality might have experienced, but when it does come down to us African Americans, we it's like racism is just never going to end for us because even if we're not experiencing amongst everyday people out there, we still have racism when it comes down to discrimination of jobs, housing,
Hmm.
um, police brutality. So racism,
Exactly.
I believe racism come down to the food, and I can just be, don't quote me hypothetically, but there's white milk, there's chocolate milk. Everything has to do
Hmm.
with a color, and it's just weird. And it's like, how do we go from this? So when you wrote this book, The What If,
Hmm.
who was your targeted audience for this book?
So, as I was chatting with you before, I'm a businesswoman, and before I was an author, that's what I used to do, and that's what I still do. And I'm a strong believer in, if anything that it is that you want to do, you have to, take yourself serious, and if you want people to take you serious, and so therefore, do your research, do your homework, and just gather all the information you can before you dive into it all the way. And so for me, what I did was before I wrote the book, or while I was writing the book, if you will, I did a test market analysis, and I was able to find my four main target components that make my audit, and which is adults that are from the ages of 18 to 35, um, people that's a part of the African American community. It did test high with both women and men, but of course, women, we run the world, so we're going to run it up with the numbers,
Okay.
as well as those who care about social issues like injustice and, police reform, or, talking about, systemic change. And so if you ask that question, who's my target audience, it's four main target components, if you will, and those are those four. However, the book is intended for everybody. I want everybody all over to read the book because it doesn't just apply to racism, if you will, or just black and white. You can apply these paradigms in different other shifts, if you will, and so, but with the gist of the reason why, if you ask the question why I chose and hone in on, racism and why I chose this topic, if you will, is because of a number of things, but the four main ones is one, what happened with George Floyd. Me being from Houston, Texas, I grew up in Fifth Ward, but I also spent some time in Third Ward. And so when he passed away, I wanted to get involved and have my voice being heard. But however, it was just when it came down to it, I couldn't. Not because I got cold feet, but because I wanted my voice to be heard longer than just in that moment of time. I wanted to be heard long after I'm gone. And so, like I said, being a person that is spiritually in tune and, like to talk with God and just ask for the spirit of discernment, excuse me, and just talking and having him showing me little bitty pieces of visions here and there, and dreams, and talking with people, and just it coming together, as well as another issue that I had in my life with mental health.
Okay.
Coming up, I guess, going back to giving you guys a little bit of my background, I had a good childhood up until the time I was 11 years old. And then, me and my family basically ended up homeless on the street for 3 years. And by the time I was 14, I was secretly placed in foster care by relatives. And for the first 6 months, my family didn't know where I was. However, during that time, I found out that if you stayed in foster care and aged out, the state of Texas would pay for your tuition fee waivers. And so by the time that my family found me and I was ready to go home, I made the decision to stay. And so
Okay.
that my college can be paid for. So, I used my street smarts to elevate my book smarts and just
Okay.
went ahead and do that those 4 years and ended up, going to Sam Houston State University and getting my degrees in international business. I also have two minors in economics and business communications. I also have a master's degree in entrepreneurship as well as I'm a Texas real estate agent. Not to mention, like I said, I'm an avid traveler, so I like to travel all over the world and just do amazing things. And although my story started in tragedy, it is in triumph. All thanks to God,
Okay.
He brought me through it all, and He still is. And you would think with all those accomplishments I had in my belt, Shay, I had it together, but I
Yeah.
didn't. A
At
lot of
every
my
level, it's a
childhood
different
trauma,
level.
yeah, a lot of my childhood trauma, stemmed over into my adulthood to where the
Yeah.
point to I got it was for me, it was not chaos was normal. And so when I got taken out of that situation and placed into foster care, I was placed in nice homes in good school districts. However, again, like I said, it wasn't normal to me. So I felt it
Mhm.
was too good to be true.
Okay.
And I would sabotage it and get kicked out of, all of the foster homes that I would in up until the time I aged out of care. That's pretty much how, foster care went for me.
Yeah.
And those type of traits, it spilled over into my adulthood to the point to where all of the good opportunities I had to, advance my career, I was squandering them because I, was doing what I felt was normal, what I was used to. And to
Mhm.
the point to where I kept messing up so much to where I had to face the ugly truth about myself that
Yeah.
it was on me. I needed to go fix my issues. Although
Yeah.
what I went through in the past, it wasn't my fault.
And you're going.
It was out of my control. Somehow, some way, it's my problem, and I got to
Yeah.
fix it. And so
Absolutely.
that's just what I did. I dismissed that notion that black people don't do therapy, and I took my
Okay.
ass to therapy. Coming up in that environment where you taught what goes on in this house stays in this house. So
Right.
you don't talk about what happened with Uncle Touchy. You don't talk about. I'm not saying it happened to me, but in
Oh,
some
I get what
families,
you're saying.
you
It's an
tell
experience.
and they still just blow it off.
Yeah.
And so that's the type of environment I grew up in. And so coming up in my adulthood and having those issues and being in denial about needing to fix them, eventually it pushed me to the point to where I was going to self-destruct. And me knowing in my heart of hearts, I'm meant for greatness. God put me here for a reason. So many times He could have taken me out, but He hasn't. He kept me right here. So I'm here for a purpose, and I can't scorn it. It'll be on me if I didn't use all my gifts and talents before my time is up and before I leave this earth. And so I broke down on my knees and prayed to God and told Him, I need to get it together. And like I said, went to therapy. And for the past 2 years, I've been serious about it and been consistent with it, and I'm proud of it. And because look what came out of it, being in
The
therapy and
outcome.
talking to my therapist, he encouraged me to do turn a negative into a positive and go back to what I love, which was writing and journaling. And so, being stuck in the house and then during the pandemic and just doodling and writing words of affirmation, then the death of George Floyd happened. And
Hmm.
of course, like I said, I want to get involved. I don't know, but however, I want my voice to be heard longer than in moment time. And like I said before, just praying and meditating it, and then bit by bit, piece by piece, I just started writing. What if? What if, what if that?
Okay.
What if this? What if other? And
Okay.
so that started June 2020. And by December 2020, I had finished writing the writing part of the book. Now I needed to find, illustrator and still and everything. But I get in contact with my lawyer and I let her know I have something I think it's going to be really good. And I show it to her. She responds, she's like, yeah, I think you're going to do really good. This is it.
Okay.
But one thing, what's the name of your business? And so, just what I for Shay, you think you know something and then life comes through and swoop,
Yeah.
remind you don't know shit.
Yeah.
And
You know
so
what? It's weird that you
I
said
had
that though, because it's not even just with your situation. I think that just with period, everyday life situations. You can use that metaphor to relate it to a lot of other topics as well.
hmm And
So when
so
it
when I did that and got real with myself, and this is what came out of it, the what if. And
the
so,
book.
like I said, when I was talking with the lawyer, she asked, "What's the name of your business?" And mind you, I was just wanting to write in the book to have my voice heard. I had no intention of starting the book, my business right now because of the pandemic.
Okay.
However, that's just the way God works. When He says
Hmm.
it's time, and He'll set everything
Okay.
in motion for you. And that's just how it's been going for me. And
Yeah.
so, December 2020, she tells me, "Hey, you need to have a business in order to sell products to the public." That's usually how it goes. And so, from that time to March 2021, I'm learning, my gains of the business and small business operations in Texas. And by the time March 2021 rolls around, Third Eye Entertainment LLC was formed, which is my
Mhm.
business. And our creed, if you will, is that we strive to bring social awareness to society through our products and services that educate, inspires, and entertains all at once. We also have a motto. It's called Manifest, Plan, Prepare. And in order for this is what we believe, which is Third Eye Entertainment believes, in order for those who believe in their heart of hearts that they are meant for guaranteed success, the first thing they must do is manifest and speak into existence of what
Yeah.
they believe and feel and desire in their heart that they are meant to have, and never stop
Absolutely.
believing it. Start
Absolutely.
writing it out on papers and just manifesting it to no end.
Yeah.
And whatever it is that you want in life, you want to get your own business, you want to, go out for that audition, whatever it is, manifest
Write it
it,
down.
believe in your heart,
Manifest it.
remove that fear and replace it with faith. Get rid of all that
Absolutely.
negative doubt and reprogram your mind and let nothing and no one tell you nothing different from what it is that you want and believe that you're supposed to have. And you manifest it and speak it like no other. Already act as if it's yours, that it's in your life, like it's in your hand already. Second, you must plan for what it is that you want to do in life and what you want to have in life. So whether if you want to, have that luxury car or house, you have to plan that out. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, you write it out on paper. You start putting that plan to action. Start fixing your
Mhm.
finances. Start fixing, if you want to get yourself, in health and shape, hit that gym up.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you need to fix, your mental health, go fix it. Go mend that broken relationship with your family. Fix all of those issues that can come back to haunt you whenever
Hmm.
you're reaping your fruits of your labor. Fix that now so you won't have to worry about it later on.
Yeah.
So once you plan that out, move on to the preparation part of it. Prepare for what it is that you are about to receive. So, like I said, prepare as far as getting yourself together from the inside out, fixing your mental, your spiritual, your financial, your physical, you know, going to mend those broken bridges, fixing your
Yeah.
credit, whatever it is, prepare for what it is that you want to receive. You have to be prepared. My grandmother told me long ago, if you want you to have a good man in your life and you want to be a good woman in life, you make sure you have yourself together before get involved with that man. Get your credit right, get your your weight right, whatever it is that you like say I got mommy and daddy issues, so I got to go fix that before
All
I go
right.
get with my dude and have issues, that I'm bringing from my past into the future relationship. So I need to fix
Yeah.
that before I get into a serious relationship. That's the type of preparation that I mean when I say manifest, plan, and prepare.
I mean, it's
And
good
once
to
you do that,
define it. It's good
yeah,
to define it, but at the same time, a lot of people take heed to things a different way and goes different routes.
mhm,
So whatever
mhm,
works best for you. But as you
yes,
heard, let's
exactly.
be real, my girl Different just told us that we have to learn to
Hmm.
manifest things, like prepare things,
Hmm.
speak things into existence into your life. Also when it does come down to, spiritual, my
Hmm.
pastor, he just we just had a ceremony I'm gonna say 2 Sundays ago, and he was talking about cultivating. Sometimes you have to cultivate things, and a lot of people don't understand what that terminology mean. Or just like when you said, it comes down to the controversial paradigm. Do you know paradigm really means for something major to really happen in this world? So whether if it's in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, your everyday life, you writing a book, you driving a car, or whatever it is, if you're doing something in your life that's going to be positive or going to have some type of payoff for you later in your life, it's a major change. Even if you saying no, it could be a major effect onto your life. So you do
Mm-hmm.
have to manifest some things, speak it into existence. It's good to always mend relationships, but what about when you come and you have all this education, you have all this to
Mm-hmm.
offer someone into this book, but it still just doesn't get through to them? What is your
So,
expectations for someone who does read the book? What is the outcome you're looking for them to have?
well, my expectation is not to have an expectation of a certain. So it's just like I said, whether the people are good or bad, a bill has been wrong. And so
Okay.
I'm not here to change the world, change my. It's just to make you think. Ask the question, what if? Another reason was sparking me to write the book is because I'm tired of racist people of the world stating that racism doesn't exist, isn't alive, or if it's alive, it's because we, the people, are keeping it alive. And so another question I asked, okay, well, how about this? How about we do a little race role reversal? How about we hold the mirror up to you and show you what we see and how we feel, what we've been going through?
Yeah.
And if it's not okay for you to see an illustration of a white person being lynched or dragged or whatever, but yet you turn around and you see a black person lynched, but oh, it's justified. Oh, it happened. Let's get over it. You have every other excuse except for saying that it's wrong. Then that's
Yeah.
how you know that racism is still alive. So I'm not only
Absolutely.
just doing this to ring bells or ruffle feathers. Like I said, it's also meant to start the conversation. Whether people are
About what
talking
if.
about it good or bad, they're going to talk about it. And
Yeah.
for me, that's one of the ways I feel that we can create change is to acknowledge and address and talk about those deep issues, deep seated root issues that nobody likes to talk about. And although,
Absolutely.
and I'm well aware that change doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen with just one person. But what if,
Mhm.
Shay, what if this is the generation that plants the seed for the
Yeah.
next or the next? So that's my hope and prayer. I'm not trying to, ruffle any feathers. It's just like I said, I wanted to do something, have my voice being heard long after I'm gone, and make people think and educate them and inspire them and entertain them. A lot of my readers who read them, a lot of them didn't know these issues happened that I have in the book. They didn't know. They were very, like, for one, for instance, a person of color, he didn't know that George
George
Washington,
Floyd.
he used his slaves' teeth for his own. He didn't know that. And
Okay.
so my book not only it just is to make people upset or make them uncomfortable, but it educates as well.
Absolutely. It says come and learn. It says it.
Yeah.
Come and learn.
And so yeah, come and learn. And so it's not just, again, I don't want to be repetitive, but I can't stress it enough because a lot of, I'm sure when people get it, they will say, this can be a tool that the black community is using to uprise against the white community. No, it's not. Stop
Mm-mm.
that right here and now. This is
Mm-mm.
strictly meant to make you think, about the things and actions that have gone on in our country to our people, black people. And
All
I'm
over.
simply asking the question, what if this was
Absolutely.
happening to you and your ancestors? What
Yep.
if this is still happening, would still be happening?
Yep.
Is it okay? Is it justified?
I
Is it
believe the way
is it
someone
alive?
responds,
What now?
the way they respond to it is it will let
Mm-hmm.
you know what do they feel about racism, because many
Mm-hmm.
people
Oh
will
yeah.
say you can't see it but you can
Mm-hmm.
experience it.
Uh-huh.
So that's the terminology when it does come down to race with others. But like I said, if you just thinking that racism goes with color, that does not just define it. You can be discriminated on housing, the way the
Mm, oh
way
yeah.
you work. So discrimination and the racism controversial with
Mm.
the paradigm. It could be
I got you, girl. Paradigm.
it's
I did it too. I was like, when I
paradigm.
first saw it, pop, pop, pop.
You know
Yeah,
what? Let me tell you
paradigm.
though. I have.
But yeah, also, Shay,
I'm
I
bad with
also
butchering things.
Go ahead.
I'm bad with butchering things.
Oh no, it's okay. Me too.
But yeah, with the paradigm though, like I said, once again, it is something like it's a major change, and a lot of people don't know that. Like even when the internet came to the world, so
Yeah.
that was a major change though for the world because now you get to trade out most of the marketings, and when it come down to like business they was trading each other off because now the internet can get to do more for them, but it's a major change. Like COVID still is a major change. So some people might don't know what the word paradigm mean. Paradigm means a major change, and that's why
Yeah.
she used that word paradigm with controversial, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Let me know right off the bat. Controversial paradigm shift. Make
Absolutely.
no
So
mistake about it.
we definitely is going to share a video a little bit more that comes from the different website. So I do definitely like this website. So what can you purchase this book from? I do see it say new book, what if?
Hmm.
Controversial paradigm shift is coming. That was August 2021. So what can we publish this book at? Purchase it.
Yeah. So for now, I'm doing a pre-sale.
Okay.
I'm actually working with Amazon right
Okay.
now. I have my transcript uploaded, and then once that's the green check, I can start the pre-sale. That's honestly where I'm at with it.
So when it
That's
comes down to what if, do you see you coming out with a second part?
so it's like this for me. I'm more like I said, I'm more just one option. I don't just talk about racism with my business with Third Eye Entity. We talk about issues that are taboo. So we not just with injustice, systemic racism. We talk about women's rights, voters' rights, sex trafficking.
Absolutely.
Domestic relationships,
Things that's happening.
LGBTQ issues,
Yeah.
all the issues that are swept under the rug. We bring it to light at Difference World. I do also on the internet side, like the training, well, excuse me, the traveling and the food experts. And so I do a blogging and vlog as well. But as far as other projects that we have going, What If is just the first product. We also sell other products and associated with the book that's available on the website. It will
Okay.
be available later on September. It won't be available on Amazon or Barnes and Noble, but just to the website only. I'm
Okay.
also looking to do a book tour. Just depending on how COVID is go. I hope it lets up. I pray it does. Next semester, I can say semester like I'm in college. Next next year, next spring, if you will, I'm looking to do Perspective 35 unified universities and then 15 states.
Okay.
Starting with Howard and working my way on down.
I want to
And so I'm
definitely
looking to
share
do
this
that.
this video clip of it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So
I
how
must
did you
warn you guys, it's for a mature audience only.
let's get into this. Viewers
Yeah.
discretion is advised. Oh my gosh, third eye.
What if in 1619 Africans started dealing in slave trading? The tables were turned around. What if they kidnapped millions of Englishmen, women, and children from their homeland and brought them to America on a slave ship? What if a controversial paradigm shift is a book written to inform and encourage consistent, thought-provoking conversations about injustice and systematic racism in America through graphic but provocative illustration? What If provides a different perspective by detailing controversial deaths and events as four categorized paradigm shifts: historical, political, precedent, and hypothetical. What If? A controversial paradigm shift by author Different. Illustration.
I love it. Oh, even in that
Thank
little
you.
short video, you give out so much information, like with the what ifs and the questions. I love how everything look when it comes down to the illustration. Everything it
Hmm.
blends in. It is so good. So when you
Yeah,
did
shout out to
come
my
down,
illustrator.
yes, how long did it actually take you to put this thought together? Because I know you said you started like in a June, and then by December you was putting it out here when it came down to the illustration. So
So
how
I found my illustrator March 2021 this year, and she
Okay.
just finished a little July like.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she was pretty quick with it, and like I said, God, He sent the right people at the right time, and she was one of them. So shout out to my illustrator Anastasia Arnold.
So where are you where's your goals for the book? Like are you looking to land it into a store? Are you just gonna
Oh, this is gonna be a number one bestseller. This is the book that rings the bell around the world. I'm
okay.
manifested, planning, and preparing. I practice what I preach over here in this world. And so we going to be a number one bestseller, Nobel Peace Prize, a Pulitzer Prize. We winning awards. We turning this book into a script.
What
I'm
about a
manifesting
movie?
from my mouth to God's ears. Well, I don't think it'll be a movie. What I'm looking for it to be is like a mini TV series part, like a
Okay.
4-part mini TV series. I could see like Tyler Perry or Regina King taking it over. I would definitely want them to do some work with
Okay.
it.
All right, those was my questions. Like, if you could work with someone or anybody up there on a little bit more professional level, who would you want to
Oh
work
yeah,
with? Everybody always talking about Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Well,
Everybody
give
loves
that his
Tyler Perry.
flowers, girl. He didn't put on for the community, if you will.
He
Like
definitely
he
has put
represents.
on for us. You know what? I had a movie producer, a movie film writer that was on my show, and he was just
Mm,
sharing his experience going to the Tyler Perry studios, trying to I guess promote his business to them. Like he wanted to try to collab, or he just wanted Tyler Perry to
mm.
look at. They wouldn't even let him in through the studios, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Tyler Perry! I know you ain't gonna get up there and do us like this now."
Yeah,
But
it be like that sometimes.
you know
So
what?
when
And
you make it big,
you have to. You do want to have security around. You do want to make sure who you are letting around you, because some people right now will sell you a story just to get up there to cut your throat. So I am aware of that. I am.
yeah.
I'm very
But
aware.
it's also again, don't forget where you come from. So I understand
Yeah.
we talking about. But if we really being real, then I want a black queen to work. So it's gonna be either Regina King or Ava DuVernay.
Okay. Now I love
So
Regina King. I love her.
yeah, that's my girl. Yeah, I love her.
She good with it. She's good. Regina King is definitely good. I don't know why I always thought her name was Regina Hall, because Regina who
Because they look like sisters.
okay, so it is a Regina
It's
Hall,
two.
right?
Yeah, it's two of them,
Okay.
Regina Hall and Regina King.
Okay,
But
so
Regina
which
King's
one?
been way longer than Regina Hall.
Okay, so who is Regina Hall? I'm thinking
Regina
Regina
Hall, think like a man cheese in that
Hall.
movie.
So who is
That's
Regina King?
a scary movie.
Okay, so
And Regina King, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Have you seen that movie?
oh,
Okay, let me get another one
the one
for
who
you.
was my
This
Lord's.
Christmas, this Christmas with
Okay,
Chris
yeah,
Brown.
yeah. I know. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that is her. Okay, but I'm like, I know it was a Regina Hall. So you know, I'm bad with movies. I just watch them. I watch them just to get a feeling, emotion. I want to cry. I want to know something. I'm not a movie critic, so I do not keep up with all the actor's name or actress name. No, I know,
Yeah.
but. So when it does come down, are you looking to do like a book signing? What's coming up
Oh,
with
definitely. We
yeah.
also next we're having the book lunch.
Okay.
And I try to be upfront and tell people what's going on. So when people hear and they go into my website, oh, this is not what you said. Different. What you see is what you get.
Well, I'm in
And
Houston.
I'm
I'm
doing it
from
by myself.
Chicago. I'm in Houston, Texas,
Take,
even though I'm from Chicago. So I would definitely come and support.
oh, okay, well for sure. Well, it's not the fact that I now have it, but it's going. What we in Houston and they have the COVID going up
Yeah,
again. So I did
yeah.
have a venue, but if what was told to me is that things going lockdown, that it's not going to
Mhm.
happen. And so I don't want to say something and then it doesn't go the way it plans. And so I just try to tell people out there listening, just check out my website and I'll keep you guys updated.
Well,
But it is coming.
have you thought about, because I have seen a lot of movie producers now, like some of the movie theaters are not open and allowing you to actually come in and sit there and watch the movie. Maybe you could do a
Hmm.
book launch or a book release by doing like a Zoom or something online or something that Maybe
I
you
do,
can
but
do
I want
it.
that physical like
I'm
interaction,
pretty
face
sure
to
you can
face, and
do
like
it. Listen, I have a podcast I started when I got here, and I just been doing it in the home. But I'm not gonna
yeah,
speak and let my right hand know what my left hand is doing. But I'm soon to have me a studio, so I know what you mean. It's like
speak
you
it
want
into
to see
existence,
something,
manifest. I know
you
you don't. You know, I
know,
get what you're
take
saying with
some
that, but you gotta
photos.
remove that negative thought and replace it with fear and start
Yes,
manifesting it. Get it
yes,
down on paper. Get you a little boy like how I did,
a
and just
vision
start writing.
board.
I will write my book. I will have a number one bestseller. You get
Absolutely,
that in your mind, once you just manifest and remove all that negative doubt, get it spiritually in tune with your third eye, nothing
absolutely.
stopping you, sis. Nothing.
So, what is Third Eye Entertainment LLC?
Yeah, so again, with my lawyer telling me, hey, I needed a business, praying, manifesting, and talking with God and being spiritually in tune, this is what I came up with. Third
Okay.
Eye Entertainment. And the reason why I have it called Third Eye is because when you allow yourself to be in tune with your spiritual side, aka your third eye, your sixth sense, whatever you want to call it, for me, when I was able to give room myself and admitted the ugly truth that I needed to go get therapy and fix my issues,
Hmm.
I was able to, get my heart right and then get my mind right. And
Yeah.
so once you do that, you unlock the ultimate chakra. Your third eye's been locked. You're able to see things so clear now. Things
Hmm.
that you didn't want to accept, like those relationships that's no
Yeah.
good for you. You
In
see them
denial.
and you're okay with letting it go. And
Yeah.
so that's what third eye is about. And also, like I said, we talk about issues that are bring social awareness to society and that pushes and motivates for social change. And so that's what my business is about. That's what I'm about. Being that person that's not afraid to be who I am and speak
Yeah.
on issues that need to be spoken on, even if that costs me. I'm not trying to be nobody's martyr or start nobody's ride or be
Somebody needs
somebody
to do it.
that person. But I do have something to say, and like I said, I believe that I was meant for greatness, and that God selected me for a special assignment, and this is it. Not to mention, long ago, I prayed and asked God to allow me to be the one in my family to break that generational curse and
Yeah.
create generational wealth. And
Mhm.
so this is one of the ways. And so by
Okay.
any means necessary, I'm gonna get it. And with third eye, like I said, our motto is manifest, plan, prepare. But also, it stems deeper as with the pandemic. This year long, I've already lost 4 people, and just had my attended a funeral of a mentor 2 weeks ago. And just want to say rest in peace to Coach also leaves my mentor at the Metro Fight
Oh,
Club in Houston,
my
Texas.
condolences.
But in the midst of the pandemic, it showed us all and reminded us all that life is not promised. Excuse me, that life
Mhm.
is short and tomorrow is not promised. And so, for again,
Yeah.
anybody that's feel in their heart that they're meant for greatness and that they're supposed to have a better life than what they're living right now, now is
Hmm.
the time.
Yep.
You know, get your
Yep.
heart, your mind, you read together, get your shit together, and go after
Yep.
what's yours.
Yep.
I always tell my friends, it's you either trying to have that come up like Cardi B or that come back like Robert D. There
Oh,
is no in between. So it's time to get rich during the pandemic or die trying. That's that mode I'm in, and I'm not messing with anybody who don't have that type of mindset. And so
man.
get you a village, a tribe, a crew, or whatever you want to call it, that think like you and feel how you feel,
Yep.
and that's how you reach that next level that you're trying to get to. That's how I was able to do it, and that's how I'm doing it. And it's not hard. Excuse me, it's not easy. It's definitely gonna be hard. You're definitely gonna have setbacks. I've had so many setbacks with this book and with this project, but that only just showed me that when all the badness comes against you, when you have something good going on, that's when you keep pushing forward. That's how
Absolutely.
you know you're meant for greatness. Is when something's trying to stop you, that negative, or it comes propose and try to stop what you got good going for you.
Get in
That's when you're supposed
between.
to go
Yeah.
harder. It's when you're
Yes,
supposed to
you
keep
do.
going even fast,
Yes, you
further,
do.
faster, and don't stop.
And
And
don't worry
so,
about trying to prove no points or explain why nothing. Keep
yep,
going.
yep.
Keep
And so it
going.
also it even what I also try to stimulate with people or relate to people, if you will, even with this book, people are going to be talking about it bad, sure enough. But whether
Mhm.
they're talking about it good or bad, the bell has been rung. And what I have learned from our previous one, number 45. I don't acknowledge him as mine because he's not. But number 45, what I've learned from him is that no matter what you do, no, what you believe in, how you feel, people will always condone your BS. This man was in office for 4 years, and even afterwards, towards the end, all that ruckus he caused, he still had 25% of the U.S. adult population still condoning his BS. That's 75 million people, Shay.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what it is that you believe in, what you stand for, it's always going to be somebody out there that's
Mm-hmm.
going to condone it. Of course, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to be against it, but
Yeah.
just go towards the people that's always for you no matter what. You go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. So if there's anybody out there that's listening and thinking, oh, well, she's not going to do good with these book sales, oh, well, they ain't going to like it, she don't close a lot of uplifters. I'm not worried about that
We
because
sure ain't.
I know what my target audience is. I know where they at. So I'm gonna go where I'm celebrated, not where they target. I'm just
Not
sorry,
even
not
just
not
that.
where I'm tolerated.
I know why God brought me to the front. You know, it say when
Mm-hmm.
God bring you to the front, that's all that matter. I don't care who promote me, who share it, or who with me. You don't gotta do none of
Mm-hmm.
that. But in a minute, they're gonna be paying me for interviews. Watch, okay?
Yeah,
Different.
exactly,
It's
exactly.
about to
So
go
just keep
down.
going. Give yourself 2 years of consistency and put in work, and
Absolutely.
just I would have never
A lot of
imagined this 2 years ago, a year ago, had I not just kept writing and keep going. And of course, there would be days that I catch writer's block and want to, be lazy about it, but I got back at it
yeah.
and just kept writing. And so
Yeah.
if you just put the bare minimum efforts and you will receive the bare minimum results. But think of it as if you put the maximum effort, then you're going to receive the maximum
The-
result.
yeah, absolutely. Some people just got to learn how
So,
to dismantle a lot, just dismantle a lot of the stagnations that has them in life. You got to let go a lot of things. You do not need to
mm-hmm,
be afraid. But like you said, that'll be on another one-on-one coaching because me and
mm-hmm,
you are neither not perfect, but I do see that it's that at the end of the day, when I'm woke, you woke. We working, baby. We don't got time to sleep.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes you have to miss
exactly.
time to stack some funds. So that's what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. I'm all up to something else. I'm
Look
off
at
to better
you.
things. I'm off to better things. I know you know I'm only doing things that's gonna make me elevate. No, but I definitely like that song. So, but it has
Mm-mm.
definitely been a pleasure to have you to come on to the show today on Let's Be Real and just educate everyone on the controversial paradigm of racism that is going on out here. I do love the website. So
Yes, Queen.
for people who are interested in reading the book, where can they go just to read it at? To download it, stream it, where can they go?
So I'm having a pre-sale starting next week.
Okay.
If to keep updated with this again, check out my website, differenceworld.net. So DIFFERENTSWORL I
Oh,
think D.net, excuse me. Differenceworld.net. I guess that's where you can find all our social media handles, but our main social media they're on right now is Facebook. You can find me at Third Eye LLC. Hi, I got a stolen tagline. Sorry, THC3RDLLCEYE. But you can go to differenceworld.net and see that.
so before I let you go, I have a question. Are you interested in
Yeah.
doing like pop-up shops?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Have you done one before?
I have not, but I'm looking to do so in October and November. Right now, it's the pre-sale, then the book launch, and then also maybe we can talk about the pop-up shop, and then I'm looking to do a book tour
I definitely am
as
going to
well.
talk to you because I am hosting one. And so, without
Oh,
just moving
okay.
to Houston, I have done so much networking. I have met a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of different type of chefs, cooks, upholsteries, all type of different things. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do a pop up shop. At first, it was going to be because I didn't know so many Chicago people has moved. Like I was like, wow, a lot of people move. We all done brought our bad asses from up there to come down here. But no,
Hmm.
but no.
My cousin was one of y'all.
Look,
Really? Let me ask you this, Shay. I can't believe this.
what?
Fish and spaghetti.
Yes, and I'm tired of y'all down here with this food.
Girl,
Fish and spaghetti goes together different
don't, no,
always.
it does not. We
Let
are
me
not.
tell you. Let me tell you my experience.
Listen
Okay,
here, we don't talk to our cousin's boyfriend because of this.
listen. I work for American Healthcare. I work for American Healthcare Medical Association. So, long story short, they had brought me some kolaches. I don't know what kolaches is, but when they brought it to me, it was like a pig in a blanket. I'm like, I don't want no hot dog
A big
with
one.
no damn bun on it. And they was cracking up. They was like, Shay, what do you mean this is a pig in a blanket? I'm like, this is a pig in a blanket. Y'all don't know a lot of stuff. So don't do us Chicago people or even up north. It is so hot down here, but I do love Houston. I just love the atmosphere. I do like the networking that I'm doing. The opportunities
Yes.
are amazing here. The
I'm sorry.
housing is so
I'm
much
on
better.
the interview. I'm sorry. That's
So
my nephew.
it's amazing. So I can bring some of my north a little bit to the south, and we could try to meet up in the Midwest or something. Let's just create our own little different type of town and state now. But it is a lot of
Okay.
people from Chicago that has came down here to Houston. And so everybody, like it's a Chicago food truck here. I met so many people from Chicago doing a lot of different stuff. They opening up a Harold's
Hmm.
Chicken. So at first the pop-up shop is going to be for everyone that has really moved themselves from Chicago because violence is everywhere. You know, don't get me wrong. Violence is all across the 50 states. Like you said, George Floyd was from here, Houston, Texas, but he went somewhere else. And unfortunately, that, you know, it ended his life. But it's violence is everywhere. And it does just
Hmm.
play a part amongst us living out here amongst each other. We have police, accidental deaths, all type of things. But I'm going to say when I did start my podcast, of course, I'm from Chicago. So it's so much violence. I wanted to just promote a lot of the positivity that still lies out there amongst the negativity with the violence, the killing, and all that. My city, my
Hmm.
state, we do have great people in Chicago. So I was going to do a pop-up shop in Houston for all Chicago people, but then I saw how the Houston people was looking at me like different. So I'm like, I'm gonna just add y'all in the shop now. But it's not just
But
for
you know
Chicago.
what it is with us? It's something here for everybody. This is like one thing I love about Houston. Even though we in the South, this is like the open minded
Yes.
South, if you will. Houston, we have something for everybody. You know,
Yes.
straight, gay, black, white, doesn't matter. You know, out of
Don't.
state people from Chicago. Yeah, I can come down here and get y'all some and make y'all own. But that's what I love about my city. We
Yes.
open minded, we open hearted, and
Yes.
I guess that's just a part of who I am as well. But make
Okay.
no mistake about it. I'm nobody's puppet or plaything.
Okay.
That's one thing
Celebrate.
about the South. We got that
I'm a
Southern
killer, but
hospitality
don't
for you,
push
but we
me.
also got some bangers too.
Look, I'm a killer, but don't push me.
Push me. Well, you ain't gotta push me. I'm already there.
Did you see that though on the news? They did say that they are making it to where people as old as 18 could carry guns now. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, that's no thing. And this is Texas. People younger carrying guns is like nothing out here.
But
And I
now
don't mean to sound so nonchalant about it, but when you say
I'm just
guns in
saying that
Texas, that's just like
I
saying I need a glass of water.
but see, I watched it on the news and I heard it and I was like, oh my gosh, I never seen out of 32 years of my life living it that they told you, oh, it's okay, you can carry a gun. Like, do you know how many more people are going to die around here? You know how many trigger happy people? Just don't make that rule in Chicago. Don't make that rule in Illinois. They are already buying guns. They don't
And
need.
that's kind of crazy because I like Chicago because don't get it twisted. I don't condone violence, but I've always been fascinated with the Chicago or the mafia like
Ah,
this is the dressing side and like the Al Capone. And so when I was in Chicago, I went to go see that street that had like the bloody Valentine
okay.
that got shot up on Valentine.
Yeah.
I not to condone violence, but I guess
You
I'm
did the
fascinated by just
right thing.
history how they used to roll back in the day with the Chicago violence in with Al
Like to
Capone and
see.
them. And so, but I'm totally against having shootouts and people losing their lives to senseless gun violence. But I
Yeah.
will say I do like how they used to roll back in the day with just a tire, if you will, just to you know
Girl,
picturesque of it.
Chicago
Like,
right now, baby.
but now,
Chicago now.
stay away from O Block.
Babe, look, they ain't even just O Block. You be sitting right there, and your whole ponytail will be somewhere else, baby. They shoot. Knock your top off your head. But look, now I think it was just a different move though, because I do have girls. So the environment here is better. The school is
How many
good.
girls do you have?
I have 2 daughters and they are preteens.
Oh,
so I have almost a 12.
Girl, I got a little 9-year-old nephew. Think he want the hotties.
Yeah, I have like almost a 12 and 14-year-old. So
so cute.
I wanted to get my girls out of the city, and people might be like, "Oh, you sound so contradicting yourself," but I didn't want my kids.
No, you're not.
I didn't want my kids to grow up with my friend's son.
And you know what? That's just how they used to make me feel. Because I grew up in the hood and was able to make it out and go to college, and they thought it. I was too good for them. Oh,
yeah.
She went to college. She thinks she this, she that. No, I just know my self-worth. I know I might have been born in the gutter, but that's not where I belong, and that's not where I'm going to end.
The goal is to get out.
And I will never forget where I come from.
Absolutely.
I don't know anybody who works that hard, go to college, or even if they don't go to college, but just and try to work themselves out of that situation just to go back. And so don't feel ashamed or be mad about it, and don't give a F about what nobody say or think. You did what was right for you and best for you and yours. And so I commend you for that, Queen.
Oh, thank you so much. And I commend you on just educating myself today and the viewers and listeners as well. Like you said, it is so much racism controversial that is going on out here. And I do appreciate you taking the time to put a what if book out there to answer some of those questions, or even put some of those scenarios out there into people's eyes who didn't never even think that those things was a vision, or even hear about it. So I do definitely appreciate you. I'm going to check back in with you a little bit more when it comes down to like the fall season, just to see what type of events you have done or what you have coming up. And we will chat on the one-on-one with the pop-up shop, and just to give me a little bit more about Houston, because
definitely,
this is my new hometown. Different.
Welcome to H-Tag. You ain't going nowhere.
Look, I brought some Chicago with me too, so okay.
But also, Queen, let me just take this time to thank you and remind you that you got a crown to your head and you were rocking it well. And I'm so appreciative and grateful for you to have me on your show. Thank you to everybody out there listening. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my nephew, my Pookie. That's his voice you guys heard on the book trailer. And so also everybody out there, remember, just manifest, plan, and prepare for what it is that you want in life, and it'll come to you. And don't worry about what nobody else has to say or think. Do you get yourself together? Because once you get your heart together, you can get your mind right. You can do anything you want in life, anything.
Absolutely.
And that's different world. Come and learn.
Thank you. Until next time, it's been real. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.